Hello, it's King Jock the Outlaw here. I just woke up to the news. Obviously, I'm in the UK. I just woke up to the news about they've arrested someone in the Gilgo Beach, Long Island serial killer case. So I wanted to make a video on that. The 13 things we know about him so far. And I just wanted to make a quick video to talk about it, because I've been following the case for years, and I do a lot of unsolved cases, and that's the stuff interests me. Like that's the way I I make the videos what I do. Like true crime, like all true crime interests me. Mysteries interest me. But yeah, I've been following this case for a long time. Him as the Golden State Killer, I was following that for a long time. And then I remember that, like, I was sleeping on my mum's sofa, and the TV was on, and I just see it coming across the clock at the bottom, like, we caught the Golden State Killer. And I was like, whoa, and I couldn't get back to sleep. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So he was like 6 hours ahead or 6 hours behind us. Like. Anyway, his name's Rex Huberman. He's an architect from Massapequa, New York. That's like very close to the dump site, like 20-minute drive or something. But it's cause it's like I don't know what it's called, like Long Island, and that the way it goes along, it's kind of hard to like go ways. If it was straight, you could go straight ahead, like as a crow flies, they say. Like, if it was that, it wouldn't be as far, but because it's way you have to drive around in that little island and shit, it's a bit farther, so it's a 20-minute drive to his house, not far at all. Like they say, they live within a mile, like, but, yeah, he was using seven plus burner phones, and they've got one of them burner phones, because supposedly he was making phone calls to Shannon Gilbert and Jessica, I think, he's Shannon Gilbert's solicitor and one of the other family solicitors. But he said he was getting phone calls, and they're thinking a woman was involved as well. A woman was helping him, and they've been on to this guy for a year. They've been on him for a year. But they've been getting their ducks in a row because they don't want to mess anything else up, because it was a shit show from the beginning. Like the chief of police and that not wanting the FBI involved because he's got beating suspects and he'd been having sex parties and all that, and there's a lot of corruption going on. And like, I don't believe corruption going on involved in this case. There's a lot of corruption, and it would have shone a spotlight on if they would have asked for FBI's help. Anyway, they found 3 of his wife's houses. They found 3 of his wife's houses in the burlap sacks. He's only been charged with 3 of the killings. 3 so far. But a special task force. Right, it was Amber Lynn Costello, 27, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Meg, 25, Megan Waterman, 22, and Melissa Bartholomew, 24. That was part of the Gilgo 4, but he's only been arrested for 3 of them, because that's where they found the DNA. They found 3 of his wife's house in the burlap sacks, and 1 of his house. But obviously the 4 of them were it was like a cluster, so they were together. So obviously they just didn't find the DNA on that body. So they can say, like, if they found DNA, if they find your semen in 3 victims and there's 4 victims, they can only say that 4 victims, it's got to be you, and it's going to be you. Like 9 out of 10, it's like, come on, 99% chance it's got to be you. One of his houses was seen at Amber Lynn Costello's house the night before she went missing. Like, they see this guy. He was the witness. She said he was a giant of a man, 6'4" to 6'6", about 280 pounds. A witness said he was like an ogre of a man, and this Rex Huberman it fits the profile where he fits that size. When he were doing the pop walk, the pop walk, he was bigger than all the officers, and they usually don't want that. Sorry, they usually don't want that. They usually want bigger officers, like they done with the Cray twins and that. Like they want officers above them. Do you know what I mean? So they look small, like and weedy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he's a big guy. He's a very big man. He was an architect, and they traced one of the bomber phones back to Manhattan, and he had offices in Manhattan, and they traced the bomber phone back to there and his house. This is what I'm getting so far. This is just breaking news, like shit break. So I'm finding more stuff out as we go along. I could probably make a follow-up video, like a proper longer one, like I'm not getting a lot of views in that, but shit will build up. It takes time to that, you know what I mean? We've got to have faith in that, man. But yeah. So yeah, you see the Amber and Costello's house, and they done a bruise on him, like I've been involved in this shit myself before. Like they done a bruise, and what it is, it's like the guy comes in, and like you give it 5 minutes, and you got a key to the door, and like she waits till the money's that put down on the table, and then boom, you bust in the door and say, "What the fuck? What are you doing in my girlfriend's house? What are you in here?" Boom, and she picks up the money and puts it away. Do you know what I mean? And like he's all flustered and that, and he leaves the house, and he says, "Oh, we're just friends. Tell her I'll phone her." And like it was a bruise, obviously, to keep his money, and she didn't have to have sex with him. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like they don't want to have sex with the people that have done it out of a necessity. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, in a way, man. It's good to ask you what they're legalizing it, like legalizing prostitution, where it's safer. They've got safe zones where it's all like it's like, you know, like people would have to get a photograph taken out. Like people wouldn't want to do it. There was a place in Leeds, in the UK, and they'd done it, and it was a legal zone, and it was all cameraed up and that. There was cameras everywhere, so it was like a lot of people stopped coming and that, but still, it kept moving. Shit, keep moving, man. It's like one of the oldest trades in the world ever. Do you know what I mean? Prostitution, the oldest thing. Look at Mary Magdalene from the Bible. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, so you see Amber and Costello's house when it's disappeared, and I think it's safer for women when things like that happen. If they say it's like you take a photograph of the person's license plate number, take a photograph of the person, and say, "I'm gonna send this to my people." And then after we do the meeting, we've done with our business, stuff will get deleted. Like you can be that when it's deleted. That's the way it should be, man. Like you shouldn't be just getting in anyone's cars, like willy-nilly, you know what I mean? Just people you don't know, because it's dangerous. As soon as they've got you in their control zone, like which is their area, where there's no one about, and then they feel in control, like. And then that's when they switch. Do you know what I mean? It's like a switch going off. And they turn into that evil person. Or they're always an evil person inside them. It just comes out. It's like they switch. You know what I mean? Number 8, he had child porn, torture and rape porn on his computer when they bust his house. You live cooks like that, that's sick, like, do you know what I mean? So the stuff is not satisfying them anymore, so like all probably living off, like when that come on top and they start finding all the bodies, that obviously mess things up for him, like, so he's had to look for other ways to find his sick fantasies. So he's looking at child porn, torture, rape porn. And he actually lived close to the dump site, as I said. I said who was murdered tonight. Amber Costello, Maureen Brenda Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Melissa Bartholomew. 27, 25, 22, 24, respectively. Yeah, they said the guy's a demon. Like they were part of the Google 4. So, yeah, Rex Huberman. They said they were on to him for a year. They've been on to this guy for a year. So they've been keeping up cards close to their chest. And you see this with a lot of them. It's like what I always tell people is when you don't hear nothing, when everything's going silent, that's when shit's going on. That's when you're being watched. That's when something's going on. When you think everything's cool and nothing, there ain't no police on the block or that, that's when shit's going on. That's when shit's happening. That's when they're watching you, when you don't see them. When they're in your face and that all the time, they don't give a shit about you. They'll just try to rattle your cage. Do you know what I mean? But when you don't see them, that's when they're watching. Just remember that. Like, that's what I like. So yeah, they finally caught someone for the Google Beach, and I hope, man, because like and God praise Shannon Gilbert, because like if it weren't for all the drama around her, like none of these girls probably would never got found, and this guy wouldn't get found, and her mother never got closure because Shannon Gilbert's sister ended up killing the mum. She was schizophrenic and that, and she wasn't well, and I think she was doing drugs and that as well. Like, don't quote me on that, but I gotta say, this is for educational purposes only, and this Rex Huberman is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I just need to say that stuff, so like cover myself on that, man. It's usual shit, like. So yeah, I've been critical of that NYPD, like fucking fair play to them, though. Do you know what I mean? Like they done this one. Do you know what I mean? They done this, like they kept it close to the chest, man, and they got him. Like the hairs they found were so degraded. Like they had to do some work, and it's like shit took years. It's like some things took years. It's like Ken Main says, shout out Ken Main. He said like the police know, like 90% of the time they know who done it. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Shout out to whoever said that one as well. I can't remember at the minute. But peace, love and respect, man. King Jock out.